Welcome to Toffee TV. Well, Marco Silva has spoken this week regarding what's going on at Everton and you know where his thoughts are coming in and going to the future. And what stood out for you, Baz?
I think it's good to have these kind of interviews because you know you hear a lot when they first come in, and then obviously they're just getting on with the job, and you're getting bits and pieces from press conferences, but not much. So, you know, obviously David Prentice has sat down with him this week, and I think the thing that stood out for me was he's kind of what we know, he's very focused, but again reiterating the plan, you know, the relationship between him and the likes of Marcel Brands seems quite strong. I think the fact he used we and us quite a lot in that piece as well, you know, building, and I know that to some people that won't matter. It won't matter whether he says us or he doesn't. Ronald Koeman never said that it was always Everton, you know, and everything like that. But I feel as though it's an important thing to feel as though your manager is part of that. We had it with Roberto Martinez, didn't we? And okay, that didn't work out great, but we were behind him. A lot of people were behind him because you could take to him. People didn't really take to Ronald Koeman. No one really wanted Sam Allardyce, so it's good to have that, you know, that kind of manager in charge, young and hungry. But he seems like the vision is there, and that to me is something I can really get on board with. Yeah, someone who knows where they're going, or has a vision where we want us to go, and who's hungry and determined enough to try to achieve it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about Marco Silva is so far is that I've taken very little from what he said in terms of. I think he speaks after the game and stuff like that, but is the read you get on him is that he doesn't want to open up too much, and he doesn't want to criticise, but also he doesn't really say anything really. If you listen to every after match he does, he talks in terms of what happened in the game. He never sort of gets personal or goes into someone doing something. He's always talking about more in a group mentality about what we need to improve on. He doesn't really go into any areas, and he doesn't get dragged into conversations about too much about what's happened in the game. And maybe that's just because so far we haven't played the type of games where the media want to create a story out of it, I suppose. So it's all been quite easy so far for him, even when we've lost games. So it's interesting actually to hear him go into a little bit more detail about certain things. I think you know, him saying that straight from the start he wanted Luca Dini. You know, straight from the start, obviously he wanted Richarlison. Like there was no bones about that. Straight from the start he wanted Zuma. And I think that's really important, because I think you want that collaboration between your director of football and between your manager. So if your manager wants somebody and he fits into what your director of football thinks is the plan, then that's great. Whereas I see someone like Yerry Mina, and I actually think he's a brand signing in terms of what we needed, and the manager's gone, yeah, we need someone at the back who's got pace, and Brands has gone out and found them, and I think that's where it'll work. You've both have got. There's got to be give and take.
Do you think the way it was done has really given us a leg up on this? In term, and what I mean by that is both of these men knew probably in February, say. March, that they were coming into Everton, so it wasn't a case of Marcel Brands, you know, you're talking to Marco Silva, you're already in post, these are the players we've got. The fact that they both came in at the same time with almost a blank canvas, you know, we couldn't have felt any more removed from the way we felt about Sam Allardyce, the majority of us, and the way the team was playing. You know, most people were like, I couldn't be bothered if any of these players play for us again, with the exception of Alexa Pickford and Coleman. So has that helped them? Because they will have had meetings in March and April. Of course they will. And identified strengths and weaknesses.
I think we said it before they come in. And we said that about Marco Silva. Is like one of the plus points for Marco Silva before he'd been announced would be, well, if he is coming in, at least he knows what he's coming into. At least he will have had a look. And I think that this gives an insight to that and sort of reaffirms that, because I think it is saying that we had to get to know the squad. If you know straight away you need a new left back, it's because you've done. And I know it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's actually to look at the strengths and the team and then go out and find that player. Then that's important. Look at what you need at centre back. You know how many do you need. You know, and then he's saying getting to then you get to know the players you've got. You know, they're all that is really important, and I think that's what's good about that interview is that he's laying it out that he did the groundwork. They both did the groundwork, and it's about details, isn't it? Because I think another thing I found interesting about the interview is saying that if you put a team out and it plays the way you want it to play, and you get beat, then you don't rip it all up. You go, well, why did we get beat? Well, so let's take the Arsenal game. Well, why did we get beat by Arsenal? Because we can't finish. We couldn't finish in that game. We couldn't finish in that game. So what do? Do you look at it and go, well, we've got the players in our squad, or do we have to go and buy someone? And I think again he's sort of saying both days, saying, well, we've got Richarlison and was waiting for Bernard to get fit, but we still need another centre forward. So I think that's important to relate to the fans, but I think the most important thing is that if you get beat but you've done things that you've been asked to do, then all you can do is go away and improve and come back and hope that you've improved. And I think sometimes that's where us as fans, all of us as fans, lose sight. We want to win every single game, but you don't get from there to there without finding out where the problems are. And that's where everyone, I'll give it a year in terms of let him have a year to find out where the problems are, and then suddenly you get a couple of defeats and I'll be out by Christmas. And that's where, as a fan, and I know it's very difficult and I know we all fall into the trap, is that you have to sort of find that patience, because it is hard. Listen, against Arsenal, the team done its job brilliantly, but it didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
Nope.
Right? And they had two 50-60 million pound strikers who could put the ball in the back of the net. So what does that tell the manager? It tells the manager that everything up to that point is good, so we need to sort that out. It's part of all the ongoing conversations about, is so and so good enough? No. Is so and so, can so and so get better? Yeah. But do we need better players? Yeah. But they're not at the club, so what are you going to do? You're going to try and make that player better till the point that you have to make that decision on another player, and I think that's sort of what he does know we need another centre forward, he does know we need another centre midfielder, but he's only going to find out more about these players. Again, he mentions it in the interview, by working with them day in and day out, getting that squad, getting them all fit, and then pushing them a little bit harder and saying, what have you got? What have you got? Has Tom Davies got the extra to get better? Has Cenk Tosun got the inside him to get better? Because at the moment he's not being challenged as a centre forward, or he wasn't being challenged.
No, he's not.
So you bring another centre forward and you go out in January or the summer and splash £40 million on a centre forward, and then say to Cenk Tosun, I want you, but you need to fight for this position, and it's up to you now. And that's where it's like, it's not the manager's job to baby sit all these players. It's his job to put 11 out that win a football match, and players will fall away by the wayside. Of course they will, because they just won't be good enough. But you know what? It's about finding those players who go, I'm on board with this. I want to be part of this.
The thing is, you're going to lose games.
Yeah.
Manchester City lost 2 on the run or something, or 3 on the run or something last year. Liverpool beat them twice, and well, in fact, Liverpool beat them 3 times last season.
Season before, Baz, they lost 4-0 to us toward what was it, February?
January.
January. So they lost 4-0 to us. Pep Guardiola would have gone away from that game and gone, right, well, I've learned this, this, and this, and this about these players today. So you need to get better, you need to get better, and I knew the new blah, blah, blah. We didn't, what did we learn from it? What did we learn from beating Man City 4-0?
Well, we learned that on our day with a good side.
But we didn't...
Ultimately, long term, we didn't learn.
Exactly.
Because we didn't act on it.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, we will lose games.
Yeah.
You lose games even when you're the best team in the land, because it's competitive. And again, what he said there, which I found was really interesting, was you don't get too high with the highs and you don't get too low with the lows if you're performing. So if you play well, after Arsenal I was disappointed we hadn't taken our chances, but I wasn't devastated we'd lost the game, for the simple reason that we played well, so I could see something. West Ham come away like, what was that? What was that performance? Because it was rubbish against the team. It was, to me, a bang average, a well worse than whatever now, and they tonked us 3-1 because that day we didn't defend well and we missed chances, glorious opportunities, so we got beat. But to both weeks we'd lost 2 games. One was a very different feeling than the other one, so you have to take that, you have to roll with the punches sometimes and go, okay, are we moving in the right direction? Yeah, okay, well, I can handle at the feet, because that was excellent, and we done that really well, and I think again his interview is good because he's laying it out, the determination to improve those players, to keep that tight knit plays. You can tell he's excited to get Gomez and Mina in that group as well, and James McCarthy. We've still got Seamus to get fit and put. When you're putting those quality, and Benny Beningame, you're putting those quality of players back into the mix and going, you lot have got a competition against each other now.
Exactly what it is.
It's me v you.
It's exactly what it is.
And I want that shirt. Do you want it? Do you really want the shirt? Because he does. Do you want it? Because if you don't want it enough, you might be better than him, but he's going to beat you to that shirt because he's determined to do it. And that's what we need as a football club.
That's the. I've said this a few times. That's the culture that has been developed. Well, it's the culture that's developed at all top teams. But you look at Spurs, and that's definitely the culture Spurs have gone in, and it's what players want. It's, you know. Listen, you can get a player now, and they get to 21, and they've made it. They've got the money. You know, they can have whatever they want. But how sort of, what drives them? What drives them to become like, so? Tom Davies gets loads of stick, right? Not whatever. But what I would say about that kid is that I look at that kid and I go, that's a kid who wants to play for Everton, and he's not asked about all the trappings of everything else around him. He's 20, 2021. He's not. I don't, you see pictures of him in town on. He's not in town falling out of bars. He's in town on a skateboard. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
all taking pictures.
Yeah, all taking pictures. He's focused. For me, from the way I look at it, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, whether you like him or not, is focused on playing football. Again, I don't see him. There was pictures of him with a nice looking girl, that the papers made her. She's gone now. So he might have gone, you're a distraction. I need to get my head down and focus on this. And that's what competition.
Arguably, he was better when he was with her, though.
But
no,
the point being is that
I know what you mean.
The point being is that a squad and coming into work every day and being pushed will separate the men from the boys from the men. Whatever it will say to Tom Davies, Garner, Snyder, and whatever. Now we'll come into work on Monday morning or whatever, and they'll look now and there's Andre Gomez and there's James McCarthy
and Benny Benningham
ready to take their place. Ready to take their place. Right, you get picked, and it's the thing we don't see. You train all week, and it's not training for being fit. Some of it is, but it's training to be better. It's training to have that personal rivalry with your mate. And you've got to be better. You've got to be more. You've got to be hungrier. You've got to be hungry. You've got to show the things, and that's what the manager's saying. He's saying, can't wait to have this squad together. So I look at my centre backs and go, what works, what doesn't work. Yerry Mina might come back and he might go, You're not doing it in training. You know, you're not here for a free ride. You're not here to walk into the squad. Lucas Digne didn't start the season.
No.
You know, as number one left back. I know he got in quite quick. But I put that
first 3 games.
But I put that down more to Leighton Baines and his push at Bournemouth.
Well, yeah.
Mason Holgate had his chance and then blew it. And someone took, and that's what Cenk Tosun hasn't started the last 3 Premier League games. You go back to the beginning, you know, in
West Ham was the last one he started, wasn't it?
So you go back to the pre-season, and we're thinking, oh, it's going to be great this season. It's like, you're not in the team, lad.
Levels drop.
You're not in the team. Dominic Calvert-Lewin got in ahead of him. Now Richarlison's ahead of him. Bernard fills his place because he's a natural left winger. It's as simple as that.
Buchmann's got to fight for it.
Yeah. And he's a key indicator. It's like, how much do you want this? How much do you want it? How much do you want to play for Everton? Because I'm going to give you a chance. Not maybe I'm going to give you a chance by, you know, playing you, but in training's your chance. In training is your chance. That's the one about Mason Holgate. Mason Holgate, someone didn't, like, you know, he played his way out. So you can play your way out as much as you can play your way in. Yeah, so it's exactly where we want to be, and I think the manager's absolutely right. After the West Ham game, it was important that we started picking up, you know, points and after Arsenal as well. Sorry, it was important.
Yeah, but the performance at Arsenal was.
What I'm saying is that you can have performances, and you obviously got to pick up points as well. And the last 2 games we've done that. We've bounced back. 1 game's of football, and it's about finding that consistent level and getting it. So every week we go, yeah, it's not erratic.
Yeah, that's the big
It's not erratic. You can see the progression, and that's all the manager's saying.
That's all you can say. And finally, the good thing as well is the indicator that he knows what is missing as well. He knows where he needs to improve.
That's the biggest thing.
And him and Brands are working towards that. So
that's the thing, though, isn't it? That's Brands' job. Brands' job is to find that player now, or find those players. Excuse me. Find those players now. So the manager and him, sure, will have daily meetings or, you know, whatever. And it's how good he is at his job. I'm not saying Steve Walsh didn't. That's what Steve Walsh did. But it's your capacity to bring those players in as well. And I think we've seen straight away from this pair that their level of player that they want to bring in is higher than the level of player Ronald Koeman and Steve Walsh. And that's the ability to not only find players, but the ability to get into a room with players,
convince them to come.
You know, that's the biggest thing.
Well, Bernard, Richarlison, Dean, Mina, Gomez have all spoken of, Kurt Zouma probably as well, have all spoken of the importance of Marco Silva talking to them, and the minute they spoke to him, they all wanted to come here. Mina come out and said, I told Barcelona in July where I wanted to go. The start of July where I wanted to go. When I wanted to go to Everton, and said straight, Luca Dean begged them to let him go. They didn't want to let him go because he wanted to come play for the manager. Richarlison, we know, so that he come out again this week and said he's like a father figure to me, and you know, I want to do well for him. And Bernard had big offers. Palmeiras wanted Bernard. It would have been easy to go back to Brazil, and he was like, I spoke to the manager and I wanted to play for him in England, and you know, so that's key as well, knowing and then having that ability to convince them and getting them on board. And that's what we're seeing. And we'll have days when it's rubbish, because that's what football teams do until they balance out. And then when you get a level, them days become less and less frequent, and that's where we're building towards, rather than it's great one week and dire the next.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got to try to get to there. But no, it was interesting to hear him speak, like you say, away from football and away from, you know, we controlled the game or we didn't control. Away from that, just without football on the table, this is where we're up to, this is what we're doing, and this is where we're going. I thought it was interesting.
No, it was very candid, and all we can do is be behind them. Because I think the other side of it as well, finally, none of it's like fanciful.
No.
None of it's like feels unrealistic.
No candy floss.
There's no, you know,
all that, like.
There's no, we've got, you know, Martinez was Martinez, but sometimes there was flights of fancy that made you feel excited as a fan, but at the same time, how are you going to achieve them? And with Silva, I think he downplays everything, but not to the point where you're like, if you feel like he's disrespecting anyone. He's just basically saying this process is big. It's going to take a while, but I know where I'm going. But I know where I'm going and how to get there, and you just have to get behind that.
And also the club's got big ambition. The club knows where it wants to go.
The club knows where it wants to go.
But that's good for the manager to keep reiterating that.
The club the club knows where it wants to go, and it's put all its faith in the manager and the director of football to take it there. So it's not like it doesn't feel like
impossible.
No, not even that. It doesn't feel like at the first sign of a wobble.
Oh, deal.
The chairman or whoever, or
well, he's chosen these are the
saying.
ones he wanted. So, and he's wanted brands from the first day he came in, which is more key than obviously what Silva is, because he wanted brands in 16 when he first took over, and he couldn't get him out of there, but he's here now. So
yeah, positive stuff, positive interview. Go and check it out for all of it, and yeah.
Just beat Palace now, we'll be
I'm going to say 3 points on Sunday will definitely make it nice. Definitely. There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Are you optimistic? Are you one of those people who didn't want Silva and still don't want Silva? Are you one of those people who didn't want Silva and now starting to be convinced? Or have you always wanted Silva and wear a t-shirt with I Love Silva on? Baz has got undies with I Love Silva on, but there you go. It's a different story for a different day. Yeah, thanks. We'll see you later.